How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Garry's Mod. And this is the Deadnaut. So what is the Deadnaut? Now, at first glance, you'd think, oh, TF2, easily. I mean, the design, the character that jumps in before the annoying soundtrack plays, it all leads back to TF2. But I looked and I couldn't find a whole lot about the Deadnaut. Either I wasn't looking in the right places, or this isn't really in TF2. But it has to be. I mean, unless the creator made this all from scratch, in which case, holy cow, bravo. I'm gonna end the intro with saying it has to be from TF2. Now, this thing is kind of interesting, because it's an NPC, but because you can possess it, it's kind of a mech at the same time. And you're gonna even notice we get a special kind of heads-up display. Unfortunately, we don't get first-person mode, but you can see our health bar up there, and, well, this thing is kind of intended to be used like this. But of course, if you don't want to do that and you want to fight it like an NPC, which it is, well, you totally can. And just be cautious, because this thing is pretty powerful. It's got a bunch of really cool weapons, a bunch of really cool abilities like that grapple we just saw there. Tons of weapons of mass destruction, things that'll end you very quickly, but it's not too overpowered. I mean, as you can see, like, I'm doing a pretty bad job of dodging this, but it's not too hard to get out of the way and to deal damage back. And you might think we destroyed him right there, but as you can see from the impact marks, all he did was go invisible. So instead of having the NPC do all the work, what do you guys say we go into the mech and show off everything one by one? However, before we do that, it's important to note that this thing is highly customizable. So if you want to go into skin here, you can choose the different colors. We got red, blue, yellow, and of course, green. And then once you do that, you can even change some of the body groups. So keep a close eye on the body there. See how it changed a little bit? We got a bunch of cool things. The music is seriously annoying. Definitely don't want that, although that is obviously him being invisible. But yeah, I mean, like, you can take the claw off if you don't want it. You can even change the arm to be the flamethrower, which you can switch to, of course. And then you can even change, like, the shoulder to fit whatever you have on that arm. Like I said, tons of customization, and I'm just gonna end it right there. A lot of it is kind of just turning things invisible, like with this. All right, that actually did nothing. I don't know what the hell that did. All right, so yeah, you can customize it. Tons of cool things. All right, now we're gonna talk about options, and I don't see a whole lot going on in here. In fact, I don't see anything involving this particular NPC unless I'm missing something. So it's safe to say we can just possess this guy and everything's going to be swell. So once you get in this guy for the first time, you're going to notice something, and that is that you have to watch where you step, because even your footsteps are going to be enough to kill NPCs. However, don't think it'll kill a hunter, because obviously a hunter is a lot tougher than that. So we're going to have to deploy some of the heavy artillery, and that's going to be left click. As you can see with left click, we shot out some very annoying fire, or napalm. In fact, let's go ahead and see what this looks like. You can see it's kind of like a shot, and then once it lands on the ground, it kind of explodes into this pool of very strange sounding flame. It sounds almost like electricity, and maybe it is, I can't tell with all the goddamn snow. But before we go on to all the weapons, let's go ahead and talk about some of the most basic abilities, like, well, you can jump. And it's not just a basic jump, there's even some... Wait. I have no clue what the hell that was. But yeah, the jump looks great. You even get a landing animation, as you can see right there. And obviously, you have a bunch of NPCs in an area, and you try jumping. And then, of course, when you land... Alright, to be fair, that was kind of a weird landing. So let's go ahead and try that once again. I mean, I landed right on his head. Alright, maybe you just land next to him. Yes, okay, finally we got it. Awesome stuff. Alright, so now we're going to talk about shooting. Now, how do you shoot? Because that's kind of going to be a dilemma since, well, we're a little bit off kilter. And the cool thing is you use your right shoulder as kind of like a crosshair. In fact, watch, I'll show you. Alright, so I'm going to get it right on the right shoulder here. And look at that. I mean, that's pretty close. Alright, let's talk about some of the other things. If you don't want to deal with, well, walking over people, you can press the R key and stomp. So, a bit more involved, but you really set it home that you want them under your feet. Alright, now how do you change weapons? And that's going to be really simple. Press the 1 key, and you'll cycle through your primary weapons. Press the 2 key, and you'll cycle through your, well, secondary weapons. And then 3, 4, 5 don't do anything, or 6. So let's go over some of the weapons you can use. So obviously we know all about the, well, napalm cannon. Let's go ahead and switch this out. There we go. Now, well, we have lag central. I don't know what the hell that was all about. All right, let's try that again. This is the flamethrower, and it is very noisy, but it also works extremely well. So if you have a nice group of NPCs laid out in front of you, you could pretty much set them ablaze. All right, here we got a bunch of Metro Police set up. Let's go ahead and see how this looks. Now, one thing I do want to test is the range, because with flamethrowers in games, you tend to sacrifice range for, well, continuous damage. And we can see here, range is pretty good. Now, unfortunately, we do only have 2 primary weapons, but of course we do have the secondary. Let's go over exactly how to use the secondary. Now, right click is going to be your right arm. Now, I don't think you can change the right arm. All we get is the grappling hook. Once again, using our right shoulder to kind of aim. Although, I have no clue what the hell's going on with that. Let's see if we can grab this guy. Okay, so we did grab him. So it is a little tricky to kind of figure out. There we go. And that brings them right to us, where we can then continue to stomp on them or, well, light them on fire. Now, I do want to know, how well does this work from long range? Because, well, that's where you want to use it, to get them to come closer to you. Again, you're going to kind of be going in dark. Really wish there was a first-person mode, or at least the first-person camera was in a better spot, so we could get a better idea of where we're aiming. But I don't know why my grappling hook is just going way off to the side. That is so strange. There we go, perfect. And that was right at the shoulder. I mean, I think we're like bouncing off the ground here. Yeah, this is probably too low. All right, there we go. I got the yoink. When you hear yoink, that's how you know you get it. I think he's just stuck on a prop or something. All right, so yeah, grappling hook is definitely a little weird, as you can see, but when it does work, it works fantastically. Now, you're going to notice something different, and that is that we can change the thing on our shoulder, but not on our right arm, and that's because our shoulder does have some special abilities as well. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had to change map. For some weird reason, that map was just giving me a bunch of issues. I always try to do different maps to make things more interesting, but sometimes it falls on my face. So let's talk more about these shoulder abilities here. Now, on the right shoulder, again, pressing F, we can shoot out our missile pods, and this is going to be very effective at, again, taking out groups. So let's go ahead and spawn in Odessa here, and let's shoot out our missiles and see exactly what they can do. Not too shabby. And you could pretty much spam this if you want. Alright, then next up we have, well, I presume to be rockets. Once again, using the right shoulder to aim. I noticed for the rockets it's definitely a lot easier to aim. And again, this is going to be really good for taking out groups of enemies. So they kind of do the same thing. This is more of like a precision strike. Wow, this one on the other hand. Oh. Okay. I forgot we have 3. And the third ability, as you guys saw, judging by the way this looks, we can go invisible. Now, what can and can't you do when you're invisible? Well, one, you cannot change your gear. So what you got is what you're stuck with until you go visible again. However, you can use the gear you have equipped as much as you want while invisible, which is kind of busted if you ask me. And again, if you wanted to go back, simply press the F key and you're back to where you are. Now, can you use the grappling hook when you're invisible? And the answer to that is an astounding yes. Now, this might even make it easier to aim because you can actually see where the grappling hook is coming from. Alright, apparently you can use kill moves on the mech while you're in it. But if you guys wanted to see what it looked like when it blew up, there you guys go. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this NPC/mech. Definitely has a bunch of really cool stuff. As always, if you guys liked what you saw, you can leave a like, subscribe if you want. Links will be in the description. My Facebook and Twitter and Discord are down there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this until the end. I'll see you guys in the next video. And until next time, farewell.